Radio, bringing the vibe.
It's a pleasure.
All right, welcome to Blue Radio. My name
you.
is Man Like Mboya, the captain of the day, and you're tuned into the Breakfast Vibe. Feel welcomed.
Thank you.
Okay, now Excel Foundation.
Yes.
You're here. I've been waiting for you actually. Now, what is Excel Foundation? What exactly is Excel Foundation? But before we go to all that, maybe we start with introductions. Like, who am I privileged to be with in the house today?
Yeah. So my name is Cynthia Vash. I'm the chairperson of Excel Foundation. It's a NGO and a youth organization that we've come together in order to help the less fortunate, people who are in need, people who need us, so that their lives could be transformed completely. Yeah.
Thank you.
My name is Michael Odhiambo. I'm the organizing secretary of Excel Foundation. Excel Foundation is a community-based organization that brings youth together so that they can help the vulnerable in the community, doing different programs.
Yes.
We deal with climate to help in the charity work and a lot of other activities.
All right. With the information that I have about Excel Foundation is that you guys are based in 3 counties. Is that right? Is that correct?
Absolutely.
That is Nairobi, Kajiado, and Watamu. And your main objectives is promote overall growth of community in academic, morals, and spiritual access to the community members.
Absolutely.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Right.
Now, like, give my listener the exact in-depth understanding of Excel Foundation, like when it started and what you've done so far to help the community at large and all that.
So Excel Foundation, we started back in 2021. Actually, the aim back then, we saw that the economy is deteriorating and people were really suffering. People were really suffering because of the economy. There was no money. So we thought of coming up together as the youths, bringing people together, those who are in need, so that we can also help the more needier people. Though we were not having as much as we could also help those who had literally nothing at the end of the day. So we started back in 2021. We brought up some of our friends, like tell a friend to tell a friend. So those who gained interest, those who saw they can do good in that particular sector, we came together, and from then we have been handling so many projects, from street edition, from tree planting. We go to schools. We also go to children's home. We also visit more so the street people, street families. They are the less, they have nothing. Like, we help them with whatever we have, because we for now we don't have sponsors. It's all by ourselves. We always handle things by ourselves from the contribution. Whatever we have is what we give back to the community. And so far, it's been good, and we've been doing this like never. We have never done this before, and day by day we see changes. We see things doing good and great.
All right. So,
Yeah.
like, how many members do you have in the Excel Foundation?
For now, we have around 39 active members. Those are the active members who have been contributing, who have been showing up to events, and who have been there ever since, and they know what they are doing in the foundation, actually.
All right. So the 39 members that you say that are active,
Yes.
like, could you share some successful stories of or examples of how your organization have empowered the youth, women, and the children to reach their full potential?
Absolutely. So I can just give an example. There was this event, we went to Bangladesh. So according to our view and our reviews, there were so many young mothers. So it's more of a Bangladesh, like, it's more of a slum, right?
Yeah.
So there are so many people there, so many young generation. So they don't know what they want in life. Most of them have engaged in drugs. Most of them are just getting into that sexual acts just because maybe you don't have a pad, you don't have money. So at that particular time, we made a great impact. We went to that particular place. We talked to the people, we donated some pads, we had a great talk with them, and most of them transformed. There are some who are saying they have the cause at hand, but then they don't have the resources to initiate maybe the particular business they wanted to do. So we helped them with the few connections we had. There was this leader from Amani, Kenya, who was also joining us at that particular time. So we linked them up. Some wanted some random jobs, so we also linked them up. And from there, we saw people transforming completely. And it's not more than Bangladesh thing. We also help the street children. We also help those who are the young generation, actually, those who have engaged themselves in drugs. We always have talks with them, though for now we are not that much stable to provide them with their rehabilitation procedures and all that. We always do that talk. You know, the moment you talk with the person, you make a great impact to them, right? So the moment we talk to them, they'll just stick that in their mind, and from that you can just see the impact.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back to you, Mr. Michael.
Yes.
So, can you give an exact elaboration on specific initiative and programs that Excel Foundation has implemented to promote the overall growth of community in academic, moral, and spiritually?
The morals that so far we've done, we've dealt with a lot of environment, climate changes. We've visited a lot of schools, we've planted trees. That's according to the government initiations of the climate change. Yeah, we've also cleaned areas like the beaches, the markets, hospitals. We've really done a lot to change on the environment. Yeah.
So you say you also work with the government, and as a community-based organization, how does Excel Foundation collaborate with the local authorities and citizens to address social, cultural development and promote social changes?
Just to make a correction, we've not worked with the government. With the climate change, we work aligning with the government proposals. That is on the climate change.
So you've not I was asking as a community-based, I mean the local governments, being that the area chief, the area, all those, the local government and the citizens at large.
Yes.
How have you collaborated to facilitate your work?
When you are doing an activity, you have to involve the area chief, let's talk of the mama mta. So when we call upon them, they always respond positively. They give us maximum security. They give us information about the area, so we deal with them in the right ways.
All right. That has been Excel Foundation, and we're still having the conversation. And let's keep it blue, my good people. Understand that Excel Foundation here is a community-based organization that is there with the urge of helping that common mwananchi, the helping that common boy child and that common girl child. In the meantime, we're taking a very, very short commercial break, and we will be back with more goodies. If your vision emphasizes on elevating poverty and promoting gender equality, can you provide examples of projects or activities that directly contribute to these goals?
Yes. So many of them, let's say literally all of them, because we have been focusing much on dealing with people who are less fortunate. So basically, we started our first event. We held it at Nuru Children's Home. That was our first event, and we went, and it was just a recap, and everything we did was just successful. So we donated with whatever we had, because we make contribution all by ourselves. As Mike has said, we don't have sponsors. So it's the small that we get. There are some of our members who are still studying. There are some who are working, but then you try to balance. The foundation needs this, needs your attention, needs your time. So you balance both, you contribute the small that you have. So on the sector of alleviating poverty, we have done that several times, and we are doing it mega, and we are still contributing to that, because on matters on the streets, we also provide them with maybe our recent actually event, we held it at Maboksini, Ganjoni, right here. These are very big street family, a lot of them, like more than 500 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's big number. 500.
It was a mega event actually.
Like all those 500 street families.
Yeah,
it's
and
just one family. Wako tu hapo hivyo.
yeah,
Yes.
they don't have even malazi, like they just lay their boxes. Ndo maana kunaitwa maboxini.
Where?
Yeah, like
Imagine
they literally have no place to go. We provide them with breakfast. It was just we started preparing on Saturday night. It was just actually a chapati festival. So basically we are supposed to provide them with breakfast, the lunch. It's like entirely the whole day, you just spend the entire day with them. So we slept, we hardly slept actually for that Saturday. We cooked mandazi, we cooked
Chapo.
mchele, a lot of chapati actually, because it's just actually a chapati event. No, it was basically for the street children
like
and
no,
families.
like not call me as I
You-
come to
you
eat. No,
film it,
I
you're like,
come not
guys.
filming and that. I just come and cook chapos, bana. Me and
You cook
chapos,
chapati.
me and chapos, we are like
Damn
this,
it.
bana. Me and chapos, we are like this. Me and chapos. If you want to just kill me very easily,
Damn.
just bring chapos for me.
But now I know. Maybe next time I'll actually
Yeah, next time.
invite you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to say there are 500 people?
More
More
than
than-
they are
more than
actually
500.
more than 500, because maybe we are talking about the adults. So they have children. There are so many young generation there, and wanazalishana. So you can
yeah,
see.
yeah.
So the picture is just, let's say it's more than 500. That's all I can say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, na Mungu alitusaidia, and we did it. We were actually in conjunction with several organizations. Actually, big up to them. It was world class caterers and events. We also had young boy child love. We also together for all, and all the branches of Excel Foundation. So the ones from Kajiado and the ones from Nairobi, they also came over. So it was actually a big event that we had planned for it. So we actually, the moment we saw it succeed, it was just big thanks to God. So that's one of the things that we do. And feeding that huge number of people as an organization who we are not actually depending on anyone, it's just through the contribution we're getting all by ourselves. We just say we can go far with whatever we have.
No, so it is just entirely a sisi kwa sisi initiative.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
That is-
for now, we can say that it is just through us, our time, our devotion. You know, when you come to that particular organization, when you say you want to join, you have to actually, we give you the views, whatever we've been doing. So you must gain interest first. Juu huwezi kukuja hapo, you start joyriding just because there's an event, you'll just come over, you're not contributing to anything. So you're supposed to show us that you can make an impact, you see. Show us that you can just touch one particular family out there. Yeah. So that's actually what we put much emphasis on.
So Excel Foundation focuses on various services, including charity,
Yeah.
climate change, youth and women empowerment, health advocacy, and human rights advocacy. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, how do these services align with the overall mission and goals of the organization?
So, actually, let me just go back to 2021, right? So the first aim that we were focusing on the first time we initiated this particular foundation, we were focusing on charity, right? Because I told you, like, we were just checking up, like, the people are suffering. We need to alleviate that poverty, you see. So our main focus back then was just charity, feeding the less fortunate, touching lives, you see. But then as we go by, we are touching the lives. But then how about the next day? people are smoking, people are using drugs, people are using like all sort of drug abusing stuff, all also pregnancies, early pregnancies. So as much as we're feeding those people, what else can we do for them? So that's where now we come in about the advocacy, because advocacy mainly it's more about the youths, about the abuse, about the drugs, about the early pregnancies. Advocacy like about the it's more focusing on youths, and since because we're youths, we know the main challenges that we face, right? So from there we can also be able to make an encounter with them and know the ways that we can also be able to handle them and give solutions to each and every situation.
That is good.
Yeah.
So Mr. Michael, how could you share some insights on the strategies that you employ as Excel to mobilize resources and human support for economic and relief and improve the environmental and living standards of people?
Just to touch on about the financial support, as like we said, we don't have sponsors. We only depend on ourselves. And you find that most of us also are not that employed. A few are employed. So with those that are employed and those unemployed, we always rally. We have daily Excel challenges where we have like a 20 bob challenge, 30 bob challenge, 50 shillings challenge. We also have boy child and girl child challenge. So that's how we mobilize our resources.
You raise funds.
That's how we raise funds.
And about human support, like, you know, you might have the cash,
yes,
you might have the funds and all that, but you will still need that human support, like for you to get your services from one point to the other. You have to move from one point to the other, na lazima watu wenyewe binafsi wawe wako hapo wenye watawezesha ile shughuli ikafanikisha. Wanasema shughuli ni watu, na bila watu shughuli haiwezi kuwa. Like human support, how do you mobilize for that?
According to my understanding, what you are trying to ask, maybe transportation?
Not transportation, human support.
Human support.
Yeah, like
Lazima. I get the point.
You get my point?
Yeah. Nijibu, let me just answer.
You can just do
so the human support, actually, see, when we came together, we came and united all ourselves to focus on this particular objective, right? So as the human support, it's just us first. We put ourselves first. As Excel Foundation, we have to show up to our events. We have to make sure that wherever we are going, we mobilize the people at that particular area. Are they ready to host us? Are they ready to hear from us? What we have, are they ready for us? So we go first, we give a review of the place. From there, so you know, the moment you have a one-on-one conversation with the person, you'll get the overview of everything and entirely the whole place, right? So we ourselves show up to our events, and also where we are going, we always go and do some background research.
It's a pre-visit.
Yeah, that's a pre-visit actually. So we give them our view. We'll be coming at that particular time. So an example is the street edition, leave alone the Maboxini one. There is also one that we had at Blue Room. We were donating. It was just an evening event actually. Tulianza 6 p.m. So we were donating some food, some pads to the women. So actually, we went there and showed up all by ourselves. Then from there is one person who is always the leader of that particular street. Sindio?
Yeah, exactly.
Kila mahali lazima kuna yule msee mwenye anajuana like amwezi niambia mimi ndo mkubwa wenu. So we have to be in good terms with that big man. Manake akituambia hakuna kuenda, there's nothing that will go on without him. Juu ndo anajua watu wake, ndo ataweza kuwa mobilize. You see? Absolutely. So we have to have a good link with that particular person who is taking charge of the street edition and street families, that is.
Yeah.
So akishawa mobilize, then we are good to go. So the human resource is just human power. It's just us, and wherever we are going, we mobilize them through the person who is in charge at that particular place. He mobilizes them, and we just come together and we do our event, and it becomes successful. That's it.
So like you say that your resources are scarce. Like,
Yeah,
how
absolutely.
do you how does the organization ensure that the equitable use of scarce resources in expanding its programs and providing assistance to the less fortunate? Like, how do you try and make sure that your resources are equitable distributed?
Yeah. So as Mike has said, hatuna sponsors. So ile kidogo tunapata, the small that we get, we may be having those challenges. We have those weekly challenges, daily challenges. Hizo za 30 bob. Unajua hata kama huna utatoa hata hiyo 30 ama the 20 shillings that you have. Through that 20 yako na 20 ya mwingine will add up to something. So let's say maybe hata kama ni 5k ama 10k ama maybe 20 to 50, something of the sort. So hiyo ndo utilize, we'll squeeze it to the way possible, best way possible, so that we can make sure that event is successful. Kile tutanunua hata kama ni kidogo, we make sure that it is very equitable to every person that we are going to hold an event at. So kama ni nini, kama ni maybe for example the pads, kama tumenunua pads, maybe some boxes, many of them, so we make sure that we utilize the pads. Kama tutapatiana a pack or 2 packs, at least kila mtu apate. So we ensure equity. We also ensure that we utilize the smaller resources that we get at the end of the day. Yeah.
So with the main mission of improving living standards of people that you stretch your hands to, what long-term impact does the Excel Foundation aim to achieve its communities it serves? Like, is there any long-term impacts that you've done?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we also have our long-term impacts, like long-term goals. We have something that we are yet to achieve maybe in some few years' time.
Yeah.
But for now, the long-term, I won't talk about the long-term because we have not achieved it yet. But we have some targets. We're also planning on maybe having our office. As I told you during the break, we don't have an office.
Yeah.
Because we go to some offices, we have actually been writing proposals, imagine, so many of them, but then upati response. So we don't just give up.
Yeah.
Si tunajua through unity and being all by yourself tunaweza manage. So we're just reaching out tuone kama tutaget that small support. So the long-term goal of organization, we are also planning to reach out to more and more people. As I told you, we have 3 branches. We are also planning on going worldwide.
Yeah.
And also before going worldwide, we reach out to the Kenyans first.
Yeah.
So
they wanasema charity begins
at home. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we kuna tumefungua hata actually Watamu. Ilikuwa we have not mentioned that, right? Ulikuwa umesema Watamu.
Yeah, I forgot about the Kajiado.
Kuna Watamu, Kajiado, Nairobi, and us now.
Watamu.
We are the main branch.
So you are 4.
We are 4.
Operating in 4 counties.
Absolutely.
That is Mombasa,
Kilifi,
Nairobi and Kajiado.
Absolutely.
All right, that is good.
So we are planning also on reaching out to more of the counties. Kisumu, there was someone who suggested that, but we are yet to oversee that because we need to see serious people. Because hatuwezi fungua tu just because we want to open another branch. Lazima tukue na hizo aim targets and something that. Absolutely. So
logistics lazima zikuwe zinaingiliana.
Kabisa, hatuwezi fungua tu ati juu tunataka ku reach out to many na tunafungua na hakuna kitu inafanyika. Yeah, so we have to weigh things all
so
over.
Like this is Excel Foundation.
Yeah.
And to my dear listener there, and maybe 1 or 2, 3 people that you've managed to like convince them, and they like in Excel Foundation has got a very good initiative. Excel Foundation is the way to go, and I will like to be part and parcel of Excel Foundation. What is the way forward for someone to become part and parcel of Excel Foundation?
It's not much, because as our maybe objectives, our yeah, let me just talk about the objectives. So tuko na hii like tumekuja pamoja to help the society, the community, si ndio?
Yeah.
So the moment you hear about Excel Foundation, you're supposed to know that you are coming together to do a certain project. Si ukukuja kujoyride or you're coming to do nothing there ati juu beshte yako yuko you just there. Unakuja and you have to contribute to anything, to literally everything that you're doing. Juu kama ni hizo chapati festival or any other event that we hold ama hata hizo za children's home, sisi ndo hupika. And you have to see it ni kuambie come do this, come do that.
Lazima umejitolea. Umetaka mwenyewe.
Umejitolea. Si eti nimekukuja nikakwambia kuja ujoin Excel nini. Lazima uwe umejitolea. Juu pale utaenda utatengeneza vitunguu. Utakuja utakata carrot. Chapati, wanaume wanapika chapati.
Why
like
is it?
You'll just do everything.
Before we continue, like I've got one question. Why is it that every time there is a gathering and all that, people are cooking chapati na pewanga waume? Why? I need to understand this.
You have to know men are great cookers also.
Men are great cooks.
Yeah.
And it's okay, but it is always like so. Like in every single gathering that you find that the people are cooking, wanaume sijui ni nini ni chapo tu nyinyi
na sijui pia mko na hiyo blood
rolling time.
It runs through your veins like hiyo chapati, like it's just like yeah.
So do you people like have any social media handles, like what way can someone reach you? Do you have maybe, let's say, do you have phone numbers? Do you have social media handles and all that? How can someone get to you if he wants to be part and parcel of this, ama he wants to put some something into Excel Foundation?
Yeah, so we have all our social media platforms ni Excel Foundation. Facebook Excel Capital, then Foundation. Instagram Excel Foundation, all of them capital. We have also on YouTube Excel Foundation, like all social media platforms Excel Foundation.
Across all social media platforms, It is Excel Foundation. Now to my dear listener, this has been a very fruitful one, and I would like to give you the opportunity to now this is the chance. Sell Excel Foundation. What is the best thing you will say about Excel Foundation to my dear listeners, so that you can bring more and more people on board in Excel Foundation?
Okay, thank you. Basically, when one wants to join an organization, first you have to know it's a charity. You are volunteering and you come there willingly. So when you want to join, you are free to join. Excel, we are very welcoming, and everyone is welcomed at their own choices. We do a lot of work, and we don't do anything to do with politics, racism. Everyone is welcomed, and you are highly welcome to Excel Foundation.
And my dear listeners, that has been Excel Foundation. What a very, very fruitful conversation. Remember, you can get us alive and direct and connect to our social media handles at Blue Radio KE, without forgetting the hashtag to be using this morning is hashtag breakfast vibe. And you're locked in with the captain of the day, man like Mboya, your finest presenter. Maybe another parting shot from Mr. Michael Odhiambo, if you still have anything else to add about the Excel Foundation again.
Yeah. Not forgetting our website. You can also link up with us in our website, www.excelfoundation.co.ke. When you visit that our website, you will find all the activities that we've done, all the core values, and all the prosperities that we have as Excel Foundation.
Everything that entails the Excel Foundation is found at their website. Once again, www.excelfoundation.org. Mazoea na tabu. Oh yeah, what we say? We're going back for another commercial break, musical break, tamu sana. Kama itakuwa tamu ni tamu zaidi. And this is the breakfast vibe.
This is the Breakfast Vibe on Blue Radio.